Welcome. You're an artist on record, your ultimate intimate conversation with your favorite artist. And I am Stefan ADIKA. If it's your first time here, give us a thumbs up and please subscribe. Hit the bell to be notified so you don't miss any other episodes that are so great as the one you're going to see right now. Bob Dylan, David Bowie, and Taylor Swift have a connection to this band as well. Can you guess who it is? Coming in the studio, we have Right Said Fred. You might remember them from that hit song, I'm Too Sexy for My Body.
I'm too sexy for your party, too sexy for your party.
You know, I'm too sexy. Like even right now, I'm getting all handsome right now and trying to look cool. I'm going, I'm too sexy for this shirt. I'm too sexy for these glasses.
Yep.
It's just such a catchy song. And it's one of those iconic songs that'll never go away.
It's been remarkable. And it's sort of re-emergence through Taylor Swift and Beyonce and Drake. It's extraordinary.
The Drake thing was the most interesting.
Yeah, I thought musically it was really interesting. Yeah.
Too sexy for that jack. Yeah.
He rekeyed it, which is interesting.
Yeah, but the Taylor Swift song's interesting as well.
What you made me do, look what you made me do, look what you just made me do, look what you just made me do.
So now, when you wrote this song, written on a bass, was written on the piano. How was it written? Was the
bass guitar?
So you wrote it on bass.
Yeah. Richard wrote the bass line. Da, 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 da.
That's an E major scale.
Yeah. So we then put that on computer on a synth, and we had this track running. And it was called
Heaven.
That's right. So we were really struggling with this track, and it wasn't going anywhere. And Richard, it was in this basement. The studio in was a basement studio, and it was hot. I think it was September or something in the UK. And so Richard started wandering around this guy's flat, and Richard can hear the bass line while he's wandering around, and for no explicable reason took his shirt off, went, I'm too sexy
for my love, love's going to leave me.
And he came back and sung it, and Richard and Rob thought it was hilarious. I for a moment didn't quite get it. I was a bit slow on the uptake, but then it suddenly kind of clicked. We thought, now that's an interesting idea, and we loved the idea of being too sexy, because we'd been living in New York up until about a year before that.
Yeah.
And
New York and Japan.
New York, it was very hedonistic. It was shoulder pads and supermodels and Area and Limelight and all these.
Limelight every Sunday night, the rock and roll church.
Absolutely.
Well.
Yeah, exactly. It was a big clubbing city, and it was very hedonistic. And we sort of came back to the UK, and we remembered that. And when Richard came up with the idea of I'm too sexy for my shirt, we said, well, maybe you're too sexy. People could be too sexy even for themselves or for their pets or their.
Be too sexy for anything.
For anything. So we did this list, and we got it down to what is now on the record. And we just like the madness of it. We like the idea that you can be too sexy, and that's what we went with.
Also, we were talking to somebody else, being interviewed by somebody else. What they said, which is quite interesting, they said it gave people permission to feel sexy.
Yeah, we never thought about that.
We never thought about that.
No,
but it gave you, you could be. Didn't matter how you actually were. If once you heard that song, it gave you permission to dance around.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Totally. It made you to be sexy and to be obnoxious. Like a guy like me lives to be obnoxious. Like, especially do some push-ups. Hey, I'm looking good right now. Just take it off. I'm too sexy.
Exactly.
Too sexy for my.
Exactly.
And it became a catchphrase. I think it was the most common reason for truancy in the States. They were using it in the House of Representatives or Congress, can't remember which one. And it just became, people were too sexy for everything. So, and we'd not thought it through like that. We just thought it was this quirky little song. We didn't even think it was that quirky, did we?
No, we were quite Machiavellian about it, I suppose, because what we did, we had things like I'm too sexy for Stallone and things like that. But we didn't want to have anything that dated it. Because we suddenly thought if Stallone had a heart attack the next day, it's all over.
Yeah.
So we chose iconic images like
cars,
cities and cities and all stuff like that. So we thought about it that hard, but to be honest with you, we didn't think it was quirky. We thought it was we just thought everybody else was boring.
It's sort of not a million miles from stuff we were listening to. I mean, we grew up with bands like early Bowie, and the Tubes and Talking Heads, and I can see David Byrne singing that, in a Talking Heads fashion, because it's meant to be ironic and ridiculous, and some of his lyrics have been.
Yeah.
So for us, it was in that genre, although we put it over a house beat, which made it very pop, but which is fine. But that's we until people started saying, and Richard had previously sung a few songs in that register, not quite as low, but certainly that, because he's a bass baritone. So we were already playing around with that. So, and a lot of people thought we had played with the vocal. So on a lot of live gigs, a lot of radio shows, Richard, they kept saying, Richard, can you do that?
Can you do the opening line?
Yeah, because it's a low E. And I think it's a lot. In our opinion, a lot of male singers sing like girls. They sing far too high. They sing out their voice range. And so I've never really liked singers like that. So we like that.
Yeah. So I was always curious, did these guys really write it, or did they have outside writers? Are they real musicians?
No, we wrote it,
because back then, you remember you had, you remember Milli Vanilli, right?
Yeah.
Just we're going to say,
exactly. I mean, also we sold ourselves, didn't we? We took our shirts off.
Yeah.
We played the game.
We played the game to start with, and then we sort of realized after a while that we didn't really like the game.
Yeah.
Wave were doing sort of film premieres and turning up on TV and all that kind of stuff. That wasn't really something that made us happy. We're happier now probably than we were back then.
Much happier. Yeah. We were very much when the record label said jump, we said how high. So we were in the machine for about 2 or 3 years. Then we walked away and did our own record label and stuff.
I remember there's one TV show that I didn't want to do. My partner was very ill at the time, so I wasn't in the right place to do this TV show. And I told the label, and they said, "You'll never work again." The trouble is, you get into this place where, and we were told, ride the wave the whole time, as if there's no tomorrow. You have to do everything like that, And artists need to be reminded in a way that they can live their life at their own pace.
Yeah,
they don't have to live their life at the record company's pace or their publisher's pace or their manager's pace. They can. Actually, we met who's the guy at Top of the Pops who was going to disappear?
Oh, Seal,
that's right. We met Seal on Top of the Pops, and the label had just told him about the his latest promo round in America, what it was. And then when the guy left, he said, "They don't know anything. I'm buggering off to Thailand."
Very wise
decision,
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's what, because Fred said it before. What's really weird is the business will work people to the point where it actually kills off the very thing that makes them money. Avicii was a really good example.
Yeah,
a really good example of that's something that was making money, and they just worked it, and he had too much.
Same with Wheatus.
Yeah, same with Wheatus.
Good band. We play with Wheatus. Good band.
Yeah,
and they will work too hard, and the label were unsympathetic.
Yeah,
and fucked them over.
On one occasion, Fred was really ill. This is a few years ago. We were signed to a label in Germany, and we had to cancel promo because he was.
I was in ICU.
He was in ICU.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
And they said, "We don't believe you. Can you send some pictures?"
We had to send pictures.
We had to send pictures.
No way! Come on.
Oh yeah, no,
100% true.
100% true.
Yeah, Ministry of Sound in Berlin didn't believe us, so we actually Rich had to come up and take pictures of me, all fucking tubes out of my nose.
Yeah,
but seriously, it was really, really bizarre. And I think let's go back to the initial image. I think when you sell yourselves like we did, we sold ourselves in a very sort of pop-tastic way.
Yeah, we did.
And understandably, people think, well, we didn't write it, we can't play. But Richard played bass with David Bowie. I toured with Bob Dylan playing guitar.
We did lots of video work with Jagger and Bowie. Fred did guitar work with Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
And actually taught Bob Dylan Route 66.
I did,
because he didn't know how it went.
Did you really?
Yeah.
So wait a second. You're showing Bob the chords. Was he getting grumpy or anything?
No, not at all. No, he was lovely. What happened was it was connected to a movie called Hearts of Fire. That's really dreadful.
The better you are, the bigger the trap.
And Dylan didn't write much of the music. It was written by Beau Hill from Rat, I believe. He was a musical supervisor.
Yeah.
So there were a couple of songs in the film that Bob Dylan wanted to know the chords to. I was asked by production to go to his trailer. So I went to Bob Dylan's trailer with my guitar, went in there and I said, do you want to run through the chords? He said, yeah, great. So I sat down there. And also the band had mentioned that they wanted to jam and we're debating the track. And someone said, "What about just Route 66? It's easy." And he either forgotten he had heard of it or actually hadn't heard of it. And he said, "What's that song they mentioned?" So I said, "Well, it's a da 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 when I," So I was telling him. He goes, "Oh, I know that." And so I just showed him a little guitar riff, and he went, "Oh, okay, cool." And that was that. I think he probably knew it maybe, but just forgotten it. I don't know. But he was nice, man. He gave me a leather jacket at the end of the shoot.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I've still got it. Yeah, he gave me a leather jacket, and he was just nice. I mean, I know there's lots of stories about, if you work with Bob Dylan and you can't talk to him, you can't look at him. Well, that certainly wasn't my experience.
Yeah.
And we were standing backstage. He was affable. It was cool, man. Yeah, I mean, we worked with quite a few other people here and there, and.
Mention the time when the director asked for lyrics.
Yes, that's right. There was the director no longer with us, Richard Marquand. He one of the songs Bob Dylan had written for the movie was called "The Usual," and so we're standing up on stage and they're doing a close up on Bob Dylan, and Richard Marquand says, "Well, for right effect, I need to see a lyric sheet because I want to get right on your mouth, right on your face." And so Bob's singing this song, and then he says that, there's no lyric sheet, man. And so Richard Marquand says, "What do you mean?" He said, "I haven't written the lyrics." He said, "But what are you singing now?" He said, "I'm just making Dylan noises." So usual, and he was great. And there was there was generally speaking, the atmosphere on set and on doing the shows, it was pretty good. There were some good players. Timmy Capello was there. Reb Beach from Winger.
Red Beach, yeah,
good players, man. And it was part movie, part sort of a few live shows thrown in to support the film. It was only a short 3 or 4 month run, but it was interesting and it was a nice experience. You know?
How about Jagger? What was it? Who
we just did some work for. He had a solo album called She's the Boss, and we did a shoot with him. Richard was playing bass, I was playing guitar. We did some rehearsals. And Jagger said, "I want this performance to be really physical, so I might come up and hit one of you." So you go, "Okay, fine, man." So we're standing there, Richard's playing bass, I'm standing there, and suddenly out of nowhere, Jagger comes up and hits Richard.
Put me right up against the wall.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Yeah, I mean, really, you know.
Yeah, but he
wouldn't do that to Keith.
No, he wouldn't. No, but Keith fall over, I think. So he came in with some beers.
Did he really? He came in with beers?
Came in with a 6-pack and sat around, and we didn't talk a great deal. He was more approachable than Bowie. Bowie was more. David Bowie was a bit more recluse.
A bit not unfriendly or anything, but just more distant.
Yeah.
And at the time, he was with a woman called Coco Schwab, who I think was also his PA.
Yeah.
And you didn't have to go through her, but it was advisable to go through her. And of course, what I didn't realize at the time is all the other musicians that we all turned up. We all turned up with our fucking demos. Can you imagine?
Did you?
Did you really?
Oh, if I was Bowie, I would have thought, "Oh, for God's sake, why don't you take your demos and stick them where the sun don't shine?" You know. But of course, when you're a kid, that's what you do.
Yeah,
totally.
Totally. But he was very nice. He was and I did 3 or 4 with him.
We met him on Top of the Pops.
Yeah, and he was sitting. He was sitting on a bench, either before a take or after a take, I'm sure. And then we walked in, obviously, with Sexy being number 2 at the time. And he looked at me and he said, "What are you doing here?"
Oh, is that what he said?
Yeah, like I was making the bloody tea.
So they got
I've got a fucking hit record, you swine.
Complete with that, a really good pop record. And in August, we got that. Right Said Fred slammed in discos and clubs throughout the country and wrote a song especially for me. I'll let them tell you more.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's like
he was all right, though, wasn't he?
He was nice. He was very, very nice. Yeah, what are you doing here? He said. Yeah, sure.
that is wild. It's wild that you get to meet them later, because before when you're struggling over here, and
that's right.
They see you guys, so you guys had the image. Nothing has changed, right? You guys...
No. When we were doing pre-Right Said Fred, we had sort of black hair, sort of greased back, that sort of 80s thing going on, you know. And then I started losing my hair. That's peak. And I just thought, in fact, Richard's boyfriend was a hairdresser, and he was cutting my hair, and he said, just shave it off.
But the first dude, I'm taking the clippers, I'm letting it go. He didn't want to do the sweep because you guys did the Jewish sweep, you know. I'm too
sweep,
sexy for
man.
my body, and it flopped over. It wouldn't work.
It kind of, people thought we were manufactured, and I do understand it because we shaved our heads. We're muscular. The song was it sounded like it could have been written it could have been a project or something, and it wasn't that. It just fell into place. And we couldn't get a record deal. No one would touch "I'm Too Sexy," so we just thought, screw it, man, let's just do it ourselves. So that's pretty much what we did. And we just got a really lucky break. Simon Bates and Gary Crowley, who are very successful DJs on British radio. And Simon Bates had, I think, the biggest morning show in Europe at the time. I think it was huge. His breakfast show. Yeah. And he was, God bless him, he played the frigging thing off the acetate. Yeah. He played, our manager took it in, it got played, and the phones went mad. And so our thing was, we don't care about, we've had record deals, we hate them, we don't care, we just want to hear it on the radio. So that's what was achieved through Radio 1 and Simon Bates. Yeah. And that was extraordinary, I have to say, and it was luck. I think every bit of success needs a little bit of luck. Yeah, it just does.
There are some pictures from our very first PA, and I don't remember where it was, somewhere in England somewhere. And there's picked with it was the DJ was a Radio 1 DJ, and there's a picture of us performing "I'm Too Sexy," and then you can see the crowd, and everybody's looking at us like, "What the fuck?"
They're like that. What is going on? Because we were big, and had our tops off, and all that. It was funny, man.
And also, back then at that time, we had no stylist. Yeah, so it was all our own stuff.
It's great. Wow.
And so when you look at in the picture, you look at the audience, and they're just standing there as if we just landed from the outer ring of Saturn. It's just,
Too sexy for my love. Too sexy for my love.
Too classy for this world.
Beyonce is clapping back at Right Said Fred, best known for the 1992 hit "I'm Too Sexy."
What's the deal with the Beyonce thing? It's on TMZ.
Yeah, I know. Media went mad. It all got out of hand. And
did you guys make up? We to
be honest, we just ignored it. The press got the wrong end of the stick. It was something set out of context. It's not something that to be honest with you, it's not something that we even get involved in. It's just we didn't want to stoke the fire because the press went mad on it. We were getting phone calls from Malaysia and Australia and Philippines and Rolling Stone from all over the world. Also, can we talk about the because we didn't want to talk about it because they'll just pick it up again and get it wrong again. So we just said, look, we're not going to poke this fire anymore. There was a misunderstanding. That's it, done. And,
that's it.
That is it. Yeah. And what we originally said, we were really lucky. We count our blessings that we've got co-writes on these records. And same with Drake and Taylor Swift and so we didn't get they wanted to start this kind of
wanted to start a
spat. We weren't going to play that game.
So now you could clear the record right here. So when this goes out, just like the media is switching it over.
It was picked up on a tape that was an interview, and it was taken not out of context, but it was taken too seriously, if you know what I mean. And there was other conversation around that was ignored, and it's also a bit silly.
We're a little bit in the crosshairs over here.
Yes, we are.
We are, because we've spoken out about the whole COVID thing and masks. And
all
So we're always in the crosshairs for one reason or another.
We have to tread very carefully.
We have to tread carefully.
But people want some kind of drama, like as we talked about the Beyonce comment with you guys. Even though you want to be careful because hey, they're a big camp too, Jay-Z and Beyonce. You don't want to fight with people, but you want to make nice with people. But people do like the drama. Like if if there's no like what am I going to do? I'm going to have a fight with my lamp back there. How much drama can I make in this house over here? Now I got
it's true. That's exactly right. And when the press went mad with that, we just ignored it because there were some people, there are millions of people out there with real life struggles. And I'm not going to get involved in a silly online spat. It's just and the media will have a field day. And as Richard said, we already have a rather a curious public profile in the UK. So we say what we want to say, but we don't gratuitously poke the bear. We don't do that. No. Life's too short.
Anybody ever fessed to any of the celebrities that you met down the road? Hey, by the way, before I got in bed with my wife or my lover,
one song. Yes, with a song called "Don't Talk Just Kiss." That was his second single to Sex. It did touch wood did very well.
Don't talk, just kiss.
I won't mention her name, but a well-known English actress came up and said, "Oh, I love that song. Me and my husband always get it on when we play that."
Oh, really?
Yeah. She was a well-known soap actress at the time.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
She did. But other than that, no. I mean, not really. I mean, if they have done it, they haven't admitted it.
They haven't admitted it.
Tom Hanks did a version of "Don't Talk, Just Kiss," and it's called "Please Don't Cut Off My Testicles."
Yeah, he did. He did a mix of "I'm Too Sexy" and "Don't Talk, Just Kiss." Yeah, he did.
And he wore a bald cap,
Oh,
yeah.
You heard that Right Said Fred song, "I'm Too Sexy"?
Oh, yeah, that's pretty good too. My testicles, so sorry, I love you. Wow.
Right Said Fred and Richard in the house. Check them out on TikTok. Check their social media out. I'm going to put the links all down below. It'll be one click and you could go everywhere. Get their book, autograph copies too. Do you guys selling autograph copies?
Yes, we are. That's right. Online. Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to get an autograph copy from you guys. Perfect. Come on. I'll give you guys like vinyl records. I'll send you a slip mat with my autograph on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, exactly.
And attached to it, I'll send you the hair that I laser removed. I'll pluck one out if I find one.
That's not necessary.
Well, I would have given you the little Richard wig if I had it. Anything, just be my friend. But no, you guys are wonderful. And
thanks a lot for that.
I am Stefan. That was Right Said Fred. And if you want to see more of this interview, unedited, uncut, check it out. All access VIP, Backstage Pass, and Patreon, where you can find this episode unedited right there. You're going to want to see that one. It's a lot of fun. And if you want to find more of Richard and Fred, their links will be in our description down below. Until then, kids, I am Stefan. You're beautiful. It's only rock and roll, and we like it. Now, get out of here, you crazy kids. And remember, who loves you, baby? We do. Bam.